Glendon with Making Money with Storage Unit Auctions, and I decided to end the year off with a bang. You know what that means? Comedy. It's been a good year. It's been a lot of stuff, and I want to say thanks to everybody that subscribed, shared the videos. Keep that shit up. I like it. I do. And the last set of videos for the year are going to be storage auction stories and comedy. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on. People are stressed. So it's time for a little fun. I'm going to do two things. Storage auction confessions and storage auction chronicles. Some stuff that I hadn't shared with y'all. There was no way that I was going to avoid her because she liked to frequent some of the honey holes that used to yield really good stuff. And I was just like, you know what? You can't run, man. You got to beat on your chest and make it happen. So I started to study Kay, and then one day I figured out her tales. Now this is something that you should know. You hear all kinds of little tricks about, you know, tapping and winking and all other stuff. When you're doing that kind of crazy stuff, you're missing out on valuable intel. Everyone has a tail. There was a guy I used to call him Rooster because every time he got on the unit he wanted, his chest would, he just swell up. And then he would spread his legs, and it was just like he would make this power stance. And the thing is, he was totally unaware of this. So anytime he did the spread out, stake his territory, I knew I could run the shit out of him. He wasn't getting off. I knew he wasn't getting off unless he didn't have the money in his pocket and his pockets were fat. I know one unit I made his ass pay $1,200 more than he had to. And the look on his face was like, I'm gonna get you, but not today because you tapped me out. Well, with Kay, her tale was her lips would twitch. It was a very small thing, you know, barely perceptible to most, but if you're not paying attention and you're playing games, you're gonna miss this stuff, so listen up. So her little lips would twitch, and that told me she really wanted the unit. And then, once she had committed means I ain't getting off. I don't care if a nuke goes off, I'm not getting off this unit. So when she did the little shoulder thing, and I'm telling you, this stuff was not like big moves. And understand, 75% of communication is nonverbal. 75%. Look for the clues, you will see them. And I say, uh-oh, lips, the shoulder dip, uh-oh. I am about to run her ass. And I did. And then it got to the point, I read her so well that one day she came up to me and she said, I'm not going to bid against you anymore. And I was like, okay, what are you talking about? What's going on? We're all friends here. She said, I don't know how the fuck you do it, but it's like you're in my damn head and you jump off just before I'm going to jump off, and you've been doing this shit for months. And we became friends. We became friends. And, you know, it became like, you know, balance of power. See, when you hear all these people, they're talking about, oh, storage auctions, they're easy. You know, there's so much that goes on to this if you're open to it. But the thing is, I will clarify that last statement. I was a storage auction addict. So my level of interest was much higher than, say, the casual person. So if you're just kind of a part-timer, some of the stuff I'm talking about, you ain't gonna never understand, because that's really not where your interests lie, and I understand that. But we became friends. And then, you know, I started sharing some of my little newbie secrets. Trick number one for newbies. And this is for those of you who use like those little bitch lights, like, I'm sorry, get yourself 1 million, 2 million, 3 million candle watt light. I'm going to tell you why. Use a flashlight. They're great for hallways, okay, when it's already dark. But outside, they really don't do you a lot of good. But that 2-3 million candle watt, it's like another sun in there. I don't care how bright it is out there. And the reason is, I led this newbie who was like Mr. Tough Shit. He was like, you know, I've run some businesses. I've had some businesses. And his little wife, oh yeah, he's run some businesses. He's been very successful, and we want to check out this business. We feel that we could be so successful too. And at that moment, I hated both of them. I was like, okay, fine. You gonna be successful? We're gonna find out. So he's out there and he's got this little little light and he's looking and stuff. Then I hit it with the sun. Bop, woo, man, that's a great unit. You know, and I said it and he was right there. Then I didn't even look at him because he would have saw the smile on my face because I was luring him down the path of destruction. I was taking him on the ride and he bought a ticket at full fare. So we go down this thing and I just flip around and go around to the back of the crowd and throw out $500. And he's like, 600. And he's like elbowing, ooh, his little woman. And I'm like, 700. And he's like, ha, 1,000. I was like, you ain't getting this. And you know, I said that under my breath, but I know he heard me because he was close enough. You ain't getting this. 1,250. And he's like, 1,500. And at that point, the game face came off, and I was like, going once, going. I started the auctioneer because I wasn't bidding anymore. And everybody was like, that's a good unit. That's a good unit. But there was a few problems. When you hit something with a light and you know what you're looking for, because understand, when you have a unit with furniture, small damage equals to huge discounts on the selling side. And the people had loaded the stuff. There was cracks, there was scratches, there was compression damage. If the stuff had been in okay condition or great condition, 1,500 would have been a deal. 1,500 would have been a steal. But I saw so much damage because I had the proper light. And, you know, he got it and he went up, you know, he was kind of like the penguin. He waddled up to the unit, had a little smile on his face, reached his little penguin arm up and pulled it down. And in the back, I am about to die. I am rolling. And I didn't see him for a few weeks. And I asked one of his new friends, I said, hey, what happened to the penguin? And, you know, Mrs. Penguin, he said, man, that was a bad unit they got. I said, what are you talking about? That unit? He's like, you better be glad you didn't get that unit. I said, what do you mean? What happened? I thought that was a good unit. Oh man, they lost. Everything was broke, scratched. They pulled a dresser out and it literally fell apart on the truck. It's like, really? For real? Oh man, that was good. That was good. That was good. Well, he was a tough old bird. So a few weeks later, he came out again, and I did it to him again, except on the smaller unit. And all of a sudden, he just stopped coming out as much as he did, and didn't really see him. Newbie trick number 2. Many people fail to do their own homework. They fail to properly research the auction. So they want to follow a veteran to the next auction because, you know, a lot of times we do know the shortest shortcut in Georgia. Hey, there's a lot of ways to get from point A to point B if you know where you're going. But I took it as a personal affront if somebody just got behind me without asking. You know, ask me if you can follow me. Ask me if I can lead you on the way. Some of you may think this is a little bit over the top. For you, it may be. But for me, spending 2 hours gathering my data, putting together at the time, you know, this was before, you know, I didn't have a TomTom. And this was when you printed up MapQuest. I'm putting all that stuff together and you gonna follow me? You gonna bird dog off my hard work? I don't think so, homie. So they get behind me and we're running and I look at it. I look at my rearview mirror and I'm like, oh hell, we got some newbies. Oh, let's see. What do I do? What do I do? Because I am going to this auction, so I can't lead them to the highway. Okay. So I get on my phone. At the next auction, I had a good resource, and I was like, "Hey, we're getting ready to come there. Any units good? Anything I'd be interested in?" She said, "Nope." She said, "I'm gonna just tell you. Everybody paid up, and what we're gonna sell is an overflow unit. So there ain't really nothing here that you want." Oh, really? Okay. Hugs, love, and kisses, and I owe you a box of donuts. And she said, you better not forget it. No problem. I got you. So this gives me additional time to climb. So I'm like, okay, let me see if they're really following me. I was in the 540. Oh yeah. And like all of a sudden, it's just like this truck. There was a red truck, and it became this little bitty dot. But it was a V8, so he had a little hump. He had a little hump. Next thing you know, the dot got a little bit bigger. Next thing I looked down, I'm doing like 120. I said, okay, we're about to go to jail. So I slow up a little bit, but they're behind me. So we go all the way up to John Creeks. We go up to Macklin. Just like do 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 do. And sometimes I'll slow down, make sure they follow me. I just speed up. And then got up to 400, and they didn't know where I was turning. Like, if you have a BMW, you know those suckers corner. They corner like nothing else if you got them tuned up. So I'm getting ready to get on 400, but see, they don't know I'm getting on 400 because I do one of these crazy moves. Now I'm on 400, pump it. I'm like at 90 miles an hour. There's no way they can make that turn in that truck. They can't do it. And I'm on 400, and I see them going across the bridge. I get off on the next exit, and I go back because it was a public storage auction. Then I make it at just barely in time because I'm signing in and everything, and they miss the next 2 auctions. See, this is the thing. This is why you do your own homework, because someone like me, an asshole, can lead you down a bad path. Newbie trick number 3. I'm reliving these memories. I'm sorry. Get mad at me if you want to. Just get mad. We're looking at a unit, and there's a safe. Anyone that's watched this channel for any length of time knows that 19 safes out of 20 are empty. Do not fall for it. Do not tell yourself, there's got to be something in there. No, it does not. It does not. It doesn't have to be in there. And I'm like, oh, there's a safe. And I know I'm taking a chance, but it's like after a while, you kind of develop a sixth sense. You just know. It's like you get this feeling about a unit. You just know. And I'm just like, because there was other things in there. I'm just like, that doesn't match. That doesn't match. It almost looks like it's 2 different people who put their stuff in here. And actually, later on, it came out to be, it was someone who lost their stuff, and the storage facility took overflow stuff that was around the property and put it in that unit. And the safe was one of the overflow items. I'm telling you, storage managers are great people to know. I'm telling you. And I'm like, it's a safe. And then I had learned how to, because see, everyone has tells. And just like I'm reading people, people were reading me. But see, I would spin the dice in my mind, like, am I going to be fast? Am I going to be slow? Oh yeah, okay, this is what we're going to do. So you didn't know what the hell I was going to do, because I had some lady come up to me and she was like, you know, I haven't figured you out. You've been on junk, you've been on nice stuff, things I think you're going to bid on, you don't bid on. I don't know. There's so many reasons for all that. But I kicked the safe and I was like, oh shit. It's heavy. There's something in there. Made this little guy pay $800 for an empty safe in a room that was worth $200 once he sold everything. Yep, I did it. Because see, you got to understand, this is a war. I've listened to some of the videos and it's like, hey, we are the world and we need to help each other. That's very nice to say on YouTube. But when you are out there and your money is on the line, your profits, your happiness, you doing well is on the line, I think that namby-pamby we are the world bullshit is going to go out the window with a quickness. Because I listened to some of this stuff and I looked at what I experienced when there were not as many people. It was brutal out there. You know, brutal. Big fish eats little fish. And I want you, my peeps, to understand that if you go out there, get your mind right. Get your mind right. It's a war. You're out to get them and they're out to get you. If it's people you know and you can work what I call gentleman agreements, that's one thing. But hey, this is a war. Because I went out with the wrong mindset for a few months and I quickly woke my ass up. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. But yeah, this is the first episode of Storage Auction Confessions. And the next one's going to be Matty Stewart, Mr. So Smooth, Mr. Fresh and So Smooth. This dude was impeccably dressed. He was super clean. I've been meaning to do that video. It's just like, how do I embody Maddie Stewart. And I call him Maddie Stewart because it's a play on Martha Stewart, because he was her male counterpart in life. I mean, it was ridiculous. The unit was sick. Next video. All right, this is Glendon with Making Money with Storage Unit Auctions.